So welcome to What It Takes to Win. I'm Hugh Styles and my company is called Time of the Water. I'm the head coach for the Royal Leamington Yacht Club. The talk today is around understanding how it is that teams that are unbelievably successful make that possibility a reality. On this slide here, we've got Team Emirates New Zealand, who won the last America's Cup. We've got Yannick Besthaven, the picture in the middle at the top, who's just won the 80-day epic of the Vendée Globe. And we have the two contenders who are trying to win the spot to compete against the Kiwis in the final of the 36th America's Cup. All teams who've done winning and been winners for many, many years. So my name, as I said, is Hugh Styles, and I'm the head coach of the Royal Leamington Yacht Club. And I've got 25 years of performance coaching in the sailing and in the sporting arena. And that's taken me from helping deliver success with a NACRA Olympic squad with 2 podiums in the 2019 European Championships, and now involved in helping Olympians go to the Games in the summer of 2021 in Tokyo to represent their country and win medals at that Games. This is just a little insight into the opportunity that Team Ineos UK came into at the end of the Prada Cup, and I'll just play this video to give you an insight into what that winning moment and those winning opportunities really meant to Sir Ben Ainsley and his team. So what do we learn about that? Well, basically for me, this piece of the slide is really key. It's that winning is a decision. There's millions and millions of pounds of money that's gone into Ineos Team UK delivering that cross. Their team per budget is somewhere in the region in excess of £130 million. And they've basically planned and prepared to be able to make that cross and make it stick. And it's impressive to see how close the margins are between these two teams. But if we look at what happens in sport, then this picture on the left really epitomises it for me. The bottom swimmer is Michael Phelps. He's won more gold medals and more medals collectively than any other swimmer in history. And yet all of the people who compete against him ever want to do is try and beat him. And what's the biggest mistake that the guy with the green hat's doing? He's looking at the guy winning whilst trying to beat him. Do you think that was a winning decision? No, it wasn't a winning decision. That was a decision that was only ever going to put the guy in the green hat in second. And now, as we sit looking in preparation for the next part of the America's Cup Challenger Series, Prada are in a commanding position. They are 4-0 up against the British. The British, as that picture shows, are looking at the transom of Prada at the moment and have got it all on to try and work out what to do. But this talk and what I'm trying to sort of convey to you here is about actually how are the British and how are the people who are in that position of trying to win going to do it. And it's really quite simple. The people who win do the simple things very, very well. They sail conservatively. They let others make mistakes around them. Ben Ainsley made a mistake in the last race against Prada, tried to go for the extra hook, didn't make it, and then are following. And they don't let pressure change their routines. Again, Ben trying to hook Prada in that last race was him trying to make something happen. It was different to their normal routine. But the one thing that Ineos are going to do in this next period is try as hard as they possibly can and work to develop those little marginal gains and those winning performances. So, what are the winning actions of serially successful people? The top left quote is from Michael Jordan, probably the best basketball player of all time. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed. He succeeds because he tries and tries and tries and practices and practices and practices. And the quote from Muhammad Ali there on the left, don't quit, suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. His whole success as the greatest boxer of all time was defined by his tenacity and his dedication to hard work. And that's something that Ben Ainsley in the picture here is all about. It's about working and working, being smart around goal setting and delivering the performance when it counts, when it matters. How do these guys all do it? Well, they set goals. They set SMART, which means specific, a very specific target. They make it measurable, so they try and ensure that they can see their progress. It needs to be accurate, so they can make sure that they are actually able to achieve it. And it needs to be realistic in that light. And most importantly, it needs to be time-based, so you can see the incremental improvement day after day, session after session, time after time. It's all part of a plan, a methodical plan that helps you build your performance towards that ultimate goal. And the key actions that the guys on the left display is that preparation and the ability to be able to push yourself beyond the boundaries and beyond the heartache and the hard yards that others stop at. They push beyond it and have an attention to detail around the technical side of the sport that is absolutely mind-boggling. So this is my winning process, having watched and observed Olympic sailors and people who are successful in business and people who are successful in sport for years and years and years, for 25 years in fact. What I've come to understand is how actually that we can generate a process around trying to achieve winning. It comes from having a clearly defined destination, a performance goal, i.e. gold medal winning in Tokyo 2020. And from there, we then start breaking the problem down. We develop a what it takes to win, which is what this talk is all about. Identifying the performance parameters, working out a monitoring process, and understanding what the targets are that we need to try and achieve. We then need to benchmark our team, our athletes, our competitors, and what the environment's going to provide us. We then need to work out what the resources we need to have, and then we need to be really clear on what our plan is, our medal winning plan of how we're going to bring all the bits together in order for us to achieve this peak performance at the right time, in the right moment. And that all happens through the learning activity, the practice, the training, and the training, and the training, and the training, and the hard work. But all of that isn't for anything if it isn't that we end up reviewing. And we need to constantly review each session and each month and with the coach and each quarter, so we keep on track to the plan. So we're going to run through a little example here about how to do that. And I'm going to walk you through this process. So what is your goal? And we've just heard from a few sailors that their goals are to win selection to the regional training group in the Oppies from Felix and Rupert, and for Ben Anderson to get a top 5 result at the Terra Nationals, and for Lottie Vinicum is to be more confident. So how do we then go about that? Ben Ainsley on the right and Usain Bolt on the left and Santi Sesto Cosby have all proved that they can win. And what have they done? Well, they've set SMART goals. We've just gone through that earlier, but it's about being specific. What specifically is going to help Ben Anderson win his chance to be top 5 at the Nationals, and for Felix and Rupert to be able to get their spot to be part of the regional training group, and for Lottie to be more confident. We need to make them more measurable, achievable, realistic and time-based. And that's going to help us have the DNA of improvement. Part of our journey as being part of the Royal Limited Yacht Club junior section is being able to have access into the help and support that myself, the head coach, and your fleet coach is going to give you. And we've put together a program of learning and development, which we've described and called the Royal Limited Yacht Club learning modules. Now, in these learning modules, there are multiple different areas that we're going to attend to, but it's trying to help break down our sport into manageable little chunks, like we've just been saying, that we can work on and create smart goals around. So in our learning modules, we have decision making, boat preparation, boat handling, boat speed and tuning, starting, self-preparation, i.e. fitness or resilience, learning and development, time management, teamwork, communication, goal setting, rules and meteorology. All of these areas are some things that you will touch through the course of the whole of this year of sailing that you're involved in the junior program, and your coaches are going to work you through each of those areas. We've already done some of that through the lectures that you're listening to now and the previous lectures that you've had through the course of this year. We've had a tides lecture, forecasting lecture, we've done some virtual regatta racing, and so we're already ticking our way along that journey. But how are we going to help make it possible to achieve in the goals that the sailors have identified? Top 5 at the Nationals is a big ask for the Terrors, lots of competitive people. So the way we go about this is we start asking ourselves performance questions. So in order to be top 5 at the Nationals, what do we need to do? Well, we need to start well, firstly, and be confident of starting anywhere on the line, whatever the situation. Yeah. We need to be, another example would be that we need to have good boat speed. And then also we need to be good at our decision making. So how do we know that we've succeeded, and how are we going to track our progress? Because that's really important for us once we've been specific about making sure we know what our goal is. Well, as it shows you there in decision making, we know we've succeeded if we make the right decision at the right time, automatically, regardless of the pressure. And in the decision making context, we can track that by our results, or by going back and watching some tracking. At certain events you get tracking, and that tracking can tell you how you've done. So with Ben and Rupert and Felix, we said actually to win our outcome result of top 5 at the Terra Nationals or of regional training group selection, we need to start really well. And the guys said, okay, in order to start really well, then we know we've succeeded if we are able to start at the starboard end of the start line and hold our position boat handling wise, to hold our start and get off the start line at the starboard end of the start line. And if I can do that in 3 out of 4 starts over a month's worth of racing at the sailing club, I know I'm getting towards my goal. So when we come to this next question, it's like, okay, well, what do we need to achieve this? Well, in order to be able to win 3 out of 4 starts in each month at our races that we're going to test ourselves against, we need to do some practice. What do we need to do when we practice? Well, we need to do, probably each time we go on the water, go out and do 3 practice starts before every time we go and do our race that we're going to measure ourselves against. So our actions is we're going to go and practice our starting, and we're going to practice 3 practice starts every time we go out and go and do our races that we do on a weekly basis. And that's our sailor commitment. This is a little template here that gives you a chance to work through and do the goal setting, problem solving to get some solutions. And for Ben in his Terra, and for Rupert and for Felix, they're now going to go away, and their commitment is they're going to go and do 3 practice starts on their boat handling and lane holding at the starboard end each time they go on the water. By doing that, they will get closer to their goal. And for Lottie's key driver was the fact that actually she needs to go out and get training more. So Lottie's confidence will come from having goals and breaking down her performance and ensuring that she's got some more incremental improvements she's showing by getting on the water and doing more time on the water. So one of the things that actually is an important ingredient in this whole process is about developing speed. And the picture in the top left is one of the kite foiling squad in the UK that I do a bit of coaching for, Guy Bridge. Their real passion is going fast. And one of the things that we as sailors can do a really good job of, if we get ourselves orientated right, is going is making gains and being able to win by being fast downwind. Winning speed is generated by making sure you train against the best people. And as you see from the picture at the bottom left, boat speed and tuning is made up of a variety of different aspects. We've got upwind technique, which comes from boat balance, steering, our sitting position, kinetics, and sheeting. And our ways of doing that are by having different drills and different training opportunities. But effectively, winning speed and developing winning speed can be addressed by working on each of the little areas within this goal. And this goal area of boat speed and tuning is on our goalscape that your coaches will all have. So if you want to know more and find out a little bit more about that, ask your coach about how we can improve our boat speed through looking at the goalscape and breaking your performance down. As I said, fast downwind is a good way to make sure you win races. Training against the best is vital, and expect to push yourself beyond your comfort zone and making sure you test methodically. And the last point about aggregation and marginal gains is about keeping trying and leaving no stone unturned in your effort to try and make sure you can deliver an improved performance each time you go on the water. So I'm just going to run through now a model about how we break down performance to help deliver a regatta winning performance. So as the example, this is what we call a what it takes to win document. And the yellow box at the top says what it takes to win Scorpion Nationals. In order for us to win the Scorpion Nationals, we know what that takes. That means we need to have the lowest point score across 12 fleet races at the venue, Mounts Bay, in a range of conditions. How are we going to deliver that? That's a challenge, isn't it? So in order to deliver that, we need to have benchmarked and seen how we can achieve and done a good job of being able to deliver relative to that. So what we did was break it down. We said, in order to win the Nationals, we need to have won other things or been successful at other things. So we're going to have 2 open meetings in the build up, and then we want to do really well at the pre-Nationals warm-up regatta. And okay, fine, we're going to do those. But what are we going to do? Well, we're going to create some KPIs and we're going to create some super strengths. We're going to finish in the top 3, and that means finishing an average of 5.5 at the first open meeting and 3 at the second. So we gradually give more detail to the problems that we're trying to break it down into as we go down this document. And in order for us to win the Scorpion Nationals, we reckon that we need to be really good at sailing in sea breeze conditions and fast in over 15 knots downwind in waves, because that's the conditions we think we're likely to sail in a lot. And then we can then consider the other critical success factors, the underpinning pillars, like our learning modules that help go towards making us possible to be the fastest boat downwind in over 15 knots and sail well in the sea breeze. We need to have availability, be fit. We need to be able to race well, have good racecraft. We need to be fast, have good boat speed. We need to have good equipment so we don't fail, and we need to know the venue and have really good knowledge of what the conditions will be. So those are the component pieces that help us to deliver the performance which is winning the Nationals. And that little journey I've just run you through there is the way that we help break down performance to create the opportunity to win. I'm going to leave it there for this recording, but hopefully that's been a really quick glimpse into how we might be able to ascertain a method of helping you guys improve your performance and winning. It comes from knowing what the key behaviours are, setting goals, asking key questions, and having a plan. And it all comes together in this What It Takes to Win document. I hope you've enjoyed listening and involving yourselves in understanding some of the concepts around this. It's simple. It's about breaking a big goal down into little steps. If you need to know more about how to do this, then please get in touch. But I'm Hugh Styles, the head coach of the RLYMYC Yacht Club. It's been a pleasure to try and help you with this evening, and I look forward to having further opportunities to speak in the future. Good night, stay safe, God bless.